What do you think is the best time to eat Thanksgiving dinner?
Probably at the start of the second half of the usually Lions Thanksgiving Day game. So 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock around there.
I think that's too early. I think that is too early to be eating dinner at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I think 4 or 5 is the best time to eat Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny as I get older. Like I really used to look forward to Thanksgiving. I like it used to be one of my favorite times of the year. Friends, family, food, alcohol. Now it's almost more of a burden. It's like, it's almost become a holiday that I don't look forward to.
Can we just put, because it's a Thursday. Like if Thanksgiving was on a Friday, I would actually like Thanksgiving a lot more. I still want the same days off, but I would like Thanksgiving if it was on a Friday more.
That's a whole rant for me. I don't know why we just can't make like the big four holidays on a Saturday, regardless of their actual date.
I think that all holidays should be on Fridays from now on. All holidays should be on Fridays because then you get that day and you get the weekend. Because I think it's hard to have, like, 4th of July is a pain in the ass because you have the 4th and then you got to work the next day. So it's not like you can really have fun.
Labor Day is the same thing. It's on a Monday. It
should be Fridays. All holidays should be Fridays. Mandatory.
Well, I mean, I think maybe we should start something. Let's start a petition that nobody will care about or vote on.
We can get at least 3 signatures. Mine, yours, and maybe one other person. Why do you think that 1 o'clock is a good time to have Thanksgiving dinner?
Wow, I'm going to sound really snobbish here, but whenever I've hosted the last few years, it is much later because I smoke meats, right? So, like, they have to...
He does smoke meat. I'll give you that.
So, anyways, I mean, I would say it's as long as it's between the 1 and the 6 window, you're fine. 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. You don't want to go earlier than that, and you definitely don't want to go later than that because the whole purpose of Thanksgiving is to fill your tummies, maybe have some alcohol, and then take a nice nap midday.
I could care less about the nap.
Oh, Have you ever done it? Have you ever had a Thanksgiving nap?
I don't think that I've ever taken a Thanksgiving nap.
It's worth it.
I don't think that I ever have. I'm not a big napper. I wake up more tired after a nap.
My wife has a thing that I wake up angry for some reason from a nap.
How long of a nap are you taking?
I mean, it doesn't really matter, it seems. I just wake up, even if it's 45 minutes, I feel as if I've wasted the day.
So you're mad at yourself, but you take it out on other people.
I don't really think I take it out on anybody. But yes, I am mad at myself.
I mean, if your wife notices, basically your family suffers. That's what she's telling you. That your behavior is making your family suffer.
I'm not winning Father of the Year or even Dad of the Year at this point. I had a pretty traumatic experience in the playground this past weekend.
Okay, let's hear it.
So my kids my oldest, we were with some friends, some of her friends. I don't really know the parents that well, but you know them, right? They're school parents. And we were at the playground, and they have, I don't know what you call it, but it's old school where you can get on it and you can spin around. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a merry-go-round, dude?
Sure, exactly, yeah. But... all the kids
That's
were
like not knowing what the name of the swings is. Like, what's that thing where you sit on it, it's connected by a chain, you go back and forth, you kind of swing?
Regardless of whatever it's called, the kids were chanting, push us faster, push us faster. So I just whipped that thing as hard as I could. And surprisingly, I whipped it pretty fast, and like 3 kids fell off of it, and that ended the play date for pretty much at that moment.
Was it clearly your fault?
I mean, I said, make sure you're hanging on, and...
You're talking to a child. I don't care how old you are, you're talking to children. If you're an adult and they're a child, it doesn't matter what the situation is, it's your fault.
One of the parents proceeded to tell me it was my fault.
Well, yeah, they were 100% correct in that. Like, you should have some common sense and not try to whip this thing as hard as you possibly can.
You know what?
God, you're that parent. Like, I couldn't believe... How can you be that person? Like, I've been at the merry-go-round and specifically thought to myself, like, I'm not going to push this thing as fast as I can because I don't want one of these kids to get hurt.
I mean, don't, like Omar said, don't come at the king.
And you referred to it as a traumatic experience for yourself, not for the children that you threw into oblivion.
Yeah, it was traumatic for me because, once again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't know what I was doing. But, I mean, I think there were 7 kids on that thing, probably 300 pounds. I did not think I was going to be able to spin the shit out of it, and I did, and it happened.
Okay, after you get it going as fast as you possibly thought that you could get it going, how many seconds eclipsed before you realized you made a mistake?
Oh, probably within at least less than 5, because as soon as I started whipping it, one of the kids wasn't really hanging on. And like they tried doing the thing where they tried like balancing with their hip and they just lost balance. They were the first casualty.
Did they get hurt?
They didn't. One of the kids had, they kind of flew off into like asphalt area. It was bad. I was just trying to be a good dad. I was trying to get my kids out of the house. Was trying to give my wife some space, and I biffed it. I absolutely biffed it.
Yeah. I can't believe you... Did you go all in? I mean, did you spin it as hard as you possibly could?
Yes, but because I thought, like I said earlier, because I thought of all the weight on it. I didn't want to just spin it and have it go around like once. I wanted the kids to be like, "Oh, this
you wanted to be cool. You tried to go back to high school glory days, and instead you ended up sending some children to the medical.
Nobody went to the medical. I can tell you though that one of the moms there, I saw a different side of her, which I don't ever have to see.
Oh, she was mad. How close up in your face did she get?
She didn't get that close in my face, but she made everybody know that how irresponsible I was, and
what did she say? What did she say?
Well, she started with that of how irresponsible I was, and did I not know? Did I not know what I was doing? And then another parent came in as she was kind of berating me and was like, "Listen, you need to calm down." And then she got angry at that parent for trying to calm her down. Mind you, it's a Saturday afternoon, so there's really nobody except us and this group of parents out there. So it just turned into a disaster.
Were these people that you specifically went to the park with, or were they people that you ran into while you were at the park?
No, that we met up with at the park. Like they're classmates, they're parents of other students in my oldest class in kindergarten.
This makes this much worse.
It is, yeah.
This makes this much worse. This is a major problem. They're never gonna hang out with you again.
I mean, I know. I don't even know what to say. Listen, I tried making it right.
Did you apologize?
Ish. I don't know if I said, listen, I was sorry for your kid not knowing how to hang on. But then I offered to buy them ice cream and stuff, like everybody. And half the parents were like, "You idiot, it's 35 degrees outside." Like, okay, well, then I don't know what to tell you anymore.
God dang, dude, you are just fucking up left and right. You're somebody who really can't be allowed out of the house. It's basically like everybody knows not to do that too much. Like, how old were these children, by the way?
Kindergartners, so I don't know,
4 years old, 4 or 5 years old,
4 to 5, maybe a 6-year-old, but probably 4 to 5.
Now, the only reason that this could have been acceptable behavior is if you would have stood your ground, and when the parents came up to yell at you about something, you should have said, "Well, really, this is your fault because you didn't teach them how to hang on. Prepare them for the world. Make no softies here," and then walk off. You should have turned it around. You should have been mad at them for not preparing their child for the real world. Why do all my kids have to come down to your kids' level because you didn't teach them how to hang on? Really, you're the problem here. You should have turned it around.
Well, I don't think you would do that either. I don't think any man in their right mind would do that. And or person, not just man. I don't think any person would do that. And I felt legitimately bad. I mean,
you should.
When the first kid flew off, I was like, "Oh no," and then all the other kids, as soon as they see that, start freaking out. And then, finally one of the dads came in and was stopped.
You didn't even do anything? Somebody else had to.
Man. Listen, this is the worst analogy I can say, but it was like, it was like playing a war simulator and pressing the button to bomb somebody, and you sit back and you watch it happen, and you're like, I don't know what to do anymore. That's how I was. I was just like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm just gonna see what happens after it stops spinning.
This.
Yeah.
This is the single worst parent. Like, I literally cannot believe that a person like this exists in the world. Like, I really can't. Like, if I saw this person and be like, wait a minute, and then you didn't, like, oh, you should have immediately, at the very least, be like, oh, that's going a lot faster than I thought it was. And immediately try to, like, correct the situation. Like, oh, I kind of fell as I was pushing it. But you just stood there like an idiot.
Here's what makes this just a tad bit worse. Is that my wife doesn't know this happened yet.
Wow. Yeah, I would just keep that to yourself. Don't let that.
Oh, she's going to find out. She's
going to find out.
One of these parents at some point in the future is going to say something, and then she's going to want to know answers, and I'm going to tell her what you told me to say.
Right. You should have doubled down. Now you have to fight against society's ills. You have to make this a cause to fight against society's ills. You have to be the one man willing to stand up against the tide.
Well, whatever. Well, let's see here. Speaking of, I got a couple of bangers for you. And these all kind of come from my weekend, so get ready for it.
Okay.
Best kind of slide. Twirly slide, water slide, or just like a regular slide, that just a generic slide that, just goes, you just go down.
I just like a generic slide to go down, honestly. I've never really been on any kind of twirly slide or a covered slide that I really thought was that great. Just give me a long, straight slide. That, to me, is the best kind of slide. I could care less about a water slide. I've never been on a water slide that I honestly felt was enjoyable. Every single one, to me, felt like, I'm going to get hurt here somewhere.
We've kind of touched on this before, but I want a concrete answer from you. And at what age are you too old to go on a roller coaster? Or, so that's part one. Part two is, what age will you feel it like the next morning?
Oh, I don't, you're never too old. I mean, you can always go and do it if you want to. You're never too old to get on it. But I would say that physically, when I started to be like, ooh, my body doesn't like this very much, probably close to 30, is when, like, at 30 years old, I was like, oh, this isn't happening anymore. Which apparently my father, who's a retired family physician, would say that as you get older, your inner ear doesn't stabilize as well, so it gets really a lot more difficult for you to kind of enjoy it. And now that I haven't been on a roller coaster in a long time, I don't want anything to do with it. Like, it screws me up.
Okay, all right. I'm worried that the lap bar wouldn't shut anymore on me.
I kind of feel like that's what you deserve. If I was the parent at that playground and I was looking like, who was that parent who did this? I was like, his name was John Shull. And then I looked you up and I found out that John Shull was injured because the lap bar didn't fit on a roller coaster. I'd be like, well, that's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you deserve.
I think that's fair. That's, you know what? Fuck around and you find out. I didn't force any one of those kids to get on that thing.
No, but you did ruin their trust in adults.
Well, that was probably ruined long before I ever came into the photo.
No, that's true. Okay.
All right, one more here. This is pretty simple, and I wasn't really sure how to word this. But turkey for Thanksgiving. Do you do turkey? Turkey's way overrated, I think. What's the number one substitute for turkey on Thanksgiving?
We do ham, actually. We don't do turkey on Thanksgivings. We do ham. And I would say that probably started, since my wife and I stopped going to, like, other family Thanksgiving. That's probably been in place for the last 5 years. I'd take a ham over a turkey any day. Turkey's not good.
Well, fuck around, you find out. See, I'm starting to turn the narrative now.
That's what you got to do. You got to double down and be like, you know what, Lisa? I understand that your child fell off, but this is not my problem. This is a you problem. You should raise your kid to be prepared for the world, because it's not all sunshines and rainbows out here. Sometimes you're going to run into some stuff, and your kid's got to be prepared, and you're not getting them ready for it.
I really should have just put you on speakerphone. You could have spoken for me.
Look, all you had to say was, house-proof your kids.
You can't house-proof out here in the wild. You can't do it.
House-proof your kids. Don't kid-proof your house, right? You got to teach children to exist in the world, not protect them from it. Double down.
Okay, all right. Can we just move on?
Yeah. Okay, so our top 5 is top 5 Thanksgiving sides. What's your number 5?
All right, so I think this is love or hate here. but I love it, and it's cranberry sauce, but specifically out of an Ocean Spray can.
I 100% agree with this. I also have cranberry sauce at my number 5, but I don't want any kind of fancy cranberry. It has to be the stuff that flops out of the can, still shaped like the can. That's the best cranberries. It's the best cranberries, the stuff that still looks like the can. Don't give me no fancy cranberries.
The first Thanksgiving that my wife and I were together, she was horrified by the fact that I would use the can grooves as like where you to cut.
That's where you cut. Yeah,
that's what it's there for, right? Like,
I don't even think that you have to cut it. Just give me the whole. Just flop it out there. Cranberries cheap is so much better than like I got real cranberries. Oh, cool. Do you have the stuff that comes in a can that's probably was packaged in 2021? Give me that.
No. Yeah, not so much.
Okay.
All right. My number 4 is green bean casserole.
Oh, 2 words that I cannot stand. Well, 3 words, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But green bean casserole. Don't want anything to do with that whatsoever.
I think that's just because you haven't had proper green bean casserole.
I think it's because I've had green beans and know that no matter what you do to green beans, they're still green beans, and I still don't want them.
Okay. I mean, I will. You put some crispy, dry onions on top. Oh my God, it's delicious.
So in other words, the only way to make green bean casserole good is to make sure it tastes nothing like green beans. It's to entirely hide the green bean aspect of it.
I mean, if you put it that way, yes.
That's how you
definitely
do it, right?
Okay. All right. What's your number 4?
4 is gravy. My number 4 is gravy. I think that gravy should be a side in and of itself, and is one of the most important parts of the Thanksgiving dinner, because it can supplement and add to so many other things. The gravy has to be good. I would also make an argument that even though I'm going to put gravy as my number 4 side, gravy is the most important thing about Thanksgiving dinner, because it can save or enhance every other side that you have.
Here's why I don't have gravy on my list, is that brown gravy, which is typically what's served for Thanksgiving, is not good. Country gravy, or white gravy, however you want to put it, that's the best gravy. So
I agree.
I agree. That's why it didn't make my list.
I like a thick gravy. Gravy can be a side on of its own. I would go country gravy over brown gravy, but I'm not gonna pass up gravy.
Gravy.
Have you ever drank in it? Have you ever just drank in gravy?
Yes, but country gravy, not Thanksgiving gravy. I actually stay away from Thanksgiving gravy.
Okay. What's your number 3?
This is about as vanilla as you can get, but just a good roll.
I have cornbread.
Okay, I mean similar.
You don't have cornbread? You just go with a regular roll? You get cornbread. Like, this is America.
Never had cornbread at Thanksgiving.
Okay, I guess that means you've never really had Thanksgiving. Seems like that's what the real thing is there. Okay, what's your number 2?
Wait, okay, all right. Well, I guess we'll come back to that. But
yeah, if you haven't had cornbread with Thanksgiving, you haven't had Thanksgiving dinner, right? You haven't had that.
No.
It's like saying I haven't had stuffing.
So I wish I could have 2 number 1s, because these are equal in my opinion, but I'm going to give the slight edge, obviously, to my number 1. So my number 2, sweet potato casserole.
I have sweet potatoes. I specifically don't really like the sweet potato casserole with all the mushrooms, or not the mushrooms, but all the marshmallows. If you've got a whole thing where the whole top is just filled with marshmallows, that's just dessert.
Oh,
that's not like sweet potatoes.
You're doing it wrong. I listen. I will go on. You know what? Maybe we should post my recipe for Thanksgiving, because I think my sweet potato casserole recipe would rival Gordon Ramsay's. Okay.
Oh God, no, it doesn't.
That's how good it is.
Right, it doesn't. Right? Do you use tongs? Well, how many pairs of tongs do you use in making it?
You don't. You know what? Because of you, that has now turned into a joke with some of our local here listeners, some of my friends, who, I mean, yeah, it's not that unusual to have a dozen pairs of tongs.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, it is. It's very unusual. I bet you could go to restaurants, 4- and 5-star restaurants, that can serve 50-plus people at one time, and they don't have as many tongs as you do.
Well, that's because they're not doing it right, I guess.
Yeah, or they are doing it right.
Well, if they serve
My number
rolls,
2
they
is
better
sweet
have
potatoes
tongs.
too. I bet our number 1 is the same, which I think is the dominant number 1. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's if stuffing is not your number 1, then I don't know what the fuck you are doing. Excuse my language.
Not having Thanksgiving dinner is what you're doing. Stuffing is the number 1. I think that is by far the best. You know what, though, honestly, I will say this. I like the food after Thanksgiving dinner. Like when you make the leftover plate after Thanksgiving dinner, more than I like the actual dinner. Like when you can kind of put everything on a sandwich, when you can just kind of hit the highlights later in the day. That's why I think that that's why I'm going to say that 4 o'clock is the best time for Thanksgiving dinner, because that gives you enough time to also clear room for the later meal, which in my opinion is the better meal.
Oof.
The sandwich after, to me, is the best part of Thanksgiving.
Oh, so I was going to say the dessert. I don't know, though. I still think that my top 2 throughout the entire day, dessert, breakfast, whatever you're going to eat that day, sweet potato casserole and stuffing. I mean, I make those during the year. That's how good they are.
I really think that, honestly, though, we should change up the entire way that we do Thanksgiving. I don't think that we should have turkey and stuffing and sweet potatoes and cornbread. I think that we should have like an American Thanksgiving of cheeseburgers, pizza, hot dogs, spaghetti, pizza rolls, nachos. That, to me, would be the best Thanksgiving. Skip the turkey. Give me some cheeseburgers, some pizza, tacos, burritos. That's what should be on Thanksgiving.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with the traditional Thanksgiving.
Well, that's wrong. Do you have any honorable mentions? What do you have in your honorable mention?
I mean, not really, to be honest. I mean, there's not very many to pick from. I mean, I have regular mashed potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and corn. Those were on my honorable mention.
Corn can be okay. I can put corn in the top 7. I can go mashed potatoes over sweet potatoes on Thanksgiving, honestly.
Oh my god, no, not even close. But fair enough.
I could do it. I could do it. I could do mashed potatoes over sweet potatoes. Nope. Yeah, I could. I don't have anything else in my honorable mention either. That's pretty much all you need. I don't really think you really need 4 or 5 sides. I don't think you need a whole bunch of different stuff.
And everyone can just eat sides. Light up a candle, couple candles.
What's your Thanksgiving candle? Give us a bonus Thanksgiving candle. People should try out for their Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, I think I mentioned this on other episodes, but I just lit last night my first 'Tis the Season candle, which is my favorite scent by far. And I got like this, the super jumbo, supposed to burn for like 120 hours. 'Tis the Season, so it's
wow.
It's
how
huge.
much did that cost you? 120 hour candle.
Why does it matter? Got it on sale, so.
But how much did it cost you? Right? Whenever you avoid the question, that means you paid a lot.
I paid a good chunk for it, but you know what? I'd do it again.
How much did you pay for it?
I mean, probably upwards of $50.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like $100.
No, it's a mass-produced candle, so it. You know,
oh, sorry, snob. God, you're such a snob. For somebody who puts so much time and effort into the things that you eat and consume and have around your body, you think you'd be much more sensitive to the needs of others and not spin them around so fast they fly off the damn merry-go-round.
You fuck around, you find out.